Most of you are overcomplicating cold email. You send 6-step email sequences, you're trying to write the perfect script, spend hours tweaking subject lines, just try and squeeze an extra 0.1% reply rate. You just overcomplicated everything for no reason. We've added over 25 million in pipeline for our clients, booked over 1,000 sales calls, and the system we do that with is embarrassingly simple. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact step-by-step process we use to cover our clients' entire market, booking 15 to 25 sales calls every single month, and it's going to feel embarrassingly simple and lazy compared to what you're normally used to. It might be the easiest and most simple way of doing cold email I've ever heard of, but it's the one that actually gets results. So let's get straight into it. So you're going to start by targeting your entire market. Okay, so what most people will do when they come to this, they'll pull a list of maybe 1,000 to 2,000 key accounts, and they'll go after those and wonder why they get no results. So the key thing here is going after your entire market. So only 3% of any market is ever ready to buy, looking to make a change, and you don't know what 3% that is. It's impossible to know. What some people will do is rely on signals, that is like a job change, a funding announcement, or something else, and they do show intent. However, you're going to be lost to sea of noise because everyone else, every SDR on the planet is doing the exact same thing. So we go after the full market because then that 3% is captured before they've posted about their problem on LinkedIn. So you are in an inbox of one, and you're not competing in the same level of noise that everyone else is. So if you're reaching 5 to 10% of your TAM, you're probably missing the actual buyers. You're focusing on the people who are just not a big enough sample size. And being honest with you, you don't have the data to tell you what's actually working because you're going for a very high touch approach to a small number of accounts, or maybe you're just sending not enough emails in the first place, right? So the person who ignored you in January may have new budget and a new problem in March. So it happens all the time. We email someone, and then we email them again 45 days later, and that person jumps on a call and they're like, oh, you just hit me at the right time. We've just had a conversation with the CEO and he just given me this budget to fix this problem. And that could be your perfect buying window when you land in the inbox and that person's had a sleepless night around the process that you can help them fix, and then they jump on a call with you, right? So map your full TAM before changing copy, sequences, or subject lines. That's the foundations. And let me give you a pro tip. Start by mapping all the companies, because these are less likely to change, especially if it's in a sophisticated market. Then you just need to enrich the decision makers because those people can change jobs, but the companies aren't going to change. Now, one client had 12,000 accounts in their TAM, and this is in one vertical. They had contacted 400. So we contacted all 12,000 in cycle one. Now, that was actually one vertical. We went after 5. So it's actually a total of 60,000 contacts that we went after. But that's in one cycle rather than you going after 500 or 100 accounts every single day. You're only going to send 2 emails per person. Now, 58% of positive replies come from email 1 and 22% come from email 2. So emails 3 to 10 that you're probably sending already generate absolutely nothing, and all you're doing is reducing your chances of getting a reply and harming your infrastructure, because people who don't reply to you and therefore being reminded of why they didn't reply in the first place, and also they're more likely to report you as spam because you're actually being quite annoying. I've had it before. Someone keeps emailing me, especially when it's not relevant to me. I'm going to report that person as spam because they're just annoying me at that point. Now, the math here is that if you have a 50,000 person TAM and 100,000 sending capacity per month, right? If you're sending a 10 email sequence, you're going to reach 10,000 people. And I doubt you have this sending capacity in the first place anyway. But if you send 2 emails, you can reach 50,000 people in that month. Okay, now that's a little bit quicker than we'd like to do, but that's the sort of math you can start to get to when you're only sending 2 emails to each person. Now, every extra email to a non-responder is training your Gmail, your domain, sends someone in mail. So when it doesn't get a reply, when it doesn't get an open, they track these things, and it can harm your deliverability overall, especially when you get to the point where you're getting spam complaints. So we've never run anything past a 3-step sequence for any client. If this TAM size is slightly smaller, we may send 3 emails, but it's very, very rare. Anything after that, I would not recommend. So email should be under 80 words. Okay, that data backs up. Why? Because spam filters are getting more and more complex, and the shorter your emails, the harder they are to pick up for spam. When you send a paragraph, 1, no one reads it, 2, it'll be picked up for spam, and 3, it's just not effective, right? So you want to send an 80-word email, you want to be very conversion focused, very sales focused, and be very short and to the point. No fluff. You can tell a story and test a founder angle, which also sometimes works well depending on the industry, but keep it sales focused, keep it conversion led. And here's a quick template for you, right? So structure. Line 1 is their problem. Line 2 to 3 is proof and why it matters now, and then a CTA, yes or no. So let me just give you a quick example. First name. And this is like not this template, but it's a very good one that works a lot. First name. We helped competitor get this result in this time frame. Would you be interested in doing the same? PS, risk reversal or guarantee. We'll get you 30 leads in the first 90 days, guaranteed. All your money back. We'll work for free until you do. Something like this, right? Okay, so the goal of email 1 is to book a call, and the goal of email 2 is to get a response. So that's what I would refer to as an SQL versus an MQL. An SQL is a sales qualified lead who wants to meet now. They have an intent, they want to show up now. Goal of email 2 is to get an MQL, who's someone who is interested, but maybe it's not right now. They're not ready for sales, but they are ready for marketing that you can approach later down the line. Now, what this allows you to do is build trust with these people now, so when it does come to the point in time where they are ready to buy, then they're already trusting you more than they did initially, rather than having the first call now. So don't mention company background, process, methodology, team size. No one reads it. Don't talk about someone's dog on LinkedIn or their post. It just doesn't work. And the best subject line we use is quick question, first name. It's really that simple. So email 2 is a different angle. Again, one of the things here, please don't say just following up, bumping this, whatever. It's terrible. If they didn't reply to angle A, you can try angle B. One of the things that I actually really like, just based on a test that we did this week, is a very soft CTA in the second one around a one-pager that therefore gets a response. If a call is not right now, why don't we send you a one-pager? That's one of the best things we're seeing work right now. But if you are very conversion-led and you want just meetings, you don't want MQLs, then what you can do is go into a different template in email 2 that was similar. You can even split it up so it's not the same chain. There's a number of different things you can do here in order to kind of optimize for your result. But again, optimize for the outcome you're looking for. If you don't want MQLs, don't optimize for it, just optimize for calls. So cover your full market in 45 days. Now, once you've hit the full market, you're going to come back to them with a fresh angle, because budget might have changed, decision maker might have changed, they might have moved jobs. Like, there's 100 different things and why now their priorities might have changed and why you need to hit them again and get them. Now, 30 days could be too aggressive because you're hitting them at the same time again, and they may remember that you've already reached out to them. And to be honest with you, not a lot has changed in 30 days. 45 is the sweet spot, where 60 days is a little bit too long for the kind of rate that we want to reach out to people. Now, every single cycle, you want to track what worked, what industries replied, and then what copy got traction, and the system compounds. So the more cycles you run, the better your data and the sharper your copy, because you have data to say what's working in what industry. And then when someone replies, you need to move fast, okay? So 31% of cold email replies never became meetings, and the reason being is slow response rates. Now, average B2B response time is 4.2 hours. So the teams convert 8% plus is under 23 minutes. Now, if you want to get to the upper echelon, change that 23 minutes to 2.3 minutes. That's where the real source is, okay? So when a reply comes in, pick up the phone, have a system with Zapier that your team gets notification, rings that person instantly when the intent is high. Hey, name, you just replied to my email. Have you got 2 minutes for us to talk about it? Should we book a call? Simple as that. Book it in with the sales team. That'll 3x your results overnight. That's probably the biggest driver you can use here. If they don't reply, I just follow up with them until they give us a response to say no, or they're interested in a call. Is really that simple. Now, qualify before the call. The last thing you want to have is time wasters. So not every reply is a qualified meeting, and booking on qualified calls is expensive because you're wasting your sales team's time. Now, you're probably in a position right now where your sales team calendar maybe is a little bit empty, but when you get to the point where it's full, the intent of those people is very important, because time is the only thing that you can't get back. So 3 questions before anyone gets booked is, are they an ICP fit? Are they a decision maker? And are they ready to solve the problem right now? If they're not, then maybe it's worth disqualifying that person before that call. Every positive reply by our team gets reviewed by a human. So we're not one of these people that just books every single call that comes through. We make sure that we qualify everything, and we disqualify fast. We actually ask our clients sometimes, okay, do you want this person or not? Because it might not be the ICP fit, but they may want a partnership or something that could be worthwhile for that person as well. So a booked meeting with someone who doesn't buy doesn't help your close rate, but also it just wastes your time for your sales team, which is probably the biggest issue here. So there you have it. The easiest and simplest way to book more sales calls with cold email. It feels simple because it is. Most of you are overcomplicating cold email because you think complexity equals better results when it doesn't. Now, if you want us to actually build and run your entire outbound engine completely done for you, where we could map your entire market, build the infrastructure, handle all the replies, scheduling, and just fill your calendar with qualified sales calls, then you can click the link in the description and book a discovery call with me. It will just be a straightforward conversation where we'll go over whether or not you're a good fit. And even if you're not, then I'll still walk you through how I'd approach it in your situation so you can get better results. So click the link in the description, book a call with me, and I'll see you there.